Actually, on that tour, maybe just me, but because my Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudeva, was having difficulty in ISKCON, he also preached in the same places that Gurudeva went to that were open. Like the Fullerton, the first temple he went to was Fullerton, which was the last place that Srila Gurudeva went to. So we went there, and Gurudev was giving the most beautiful classes on Ramananda Samvad. First day. He was speaking about the gradations of bhaktas. And the first morning we went for a morning walk. And I had not been to America before. It was the first time I'd been to America. So as we were walking, I was taking some photos, and you can see in those photos our mood was like, we were very jolly and happy. And I was looking, oh, it's trees, big cars, houses, everything. And then we walked down the road and we went into a park, and then Gurudev sat on a chair. And he looked straight at me, he said, so, we are walking here and there, mind is going here and there. How will you do bhajan? And I was like, uh-oh. And then he turned to Urukram Prabhu, Pabana Maharaj, and he said, Urukram, first sloka of Manasiksha. So he quoted, so he said, this is how we do bhajan. And he was explaining so many things. The next day, evening class also very sweet. I think maybe it was that first evening class, a devotee came from ISKCON, from ITV, ISKCON television, and he recorded Gurudev speaking about Srila Prabhupada. And I just remember everybody was crying. Everybody was weeping, and Gurudev was not crying, but Gurudev was very expert at holding his emotions. And then the one I remember is like, the camera is here now, the cameraman was just behind me, and I turned around and the cameraman was just weeping. It was so amazing. And then the next morning we went morning walk, and I wasn't looking anywhere. I wasn't looking up, down, side. I was just walking behind Gurudev, and I was looking at his feet, and I was chanting, even to the point I was walking right behind him. Madhav Maharaj was walking, Vajranath was walking side, projecting. I was right behind. I was looking at his feet, and very close. And then even to the point when Gurudev got to the bench, I remember running into the back of Gurudev. Because my Guru Maharaj always taught that story of Arjuna shooting the arrow to the eye of the sparrow. So this kind of mood I was trying to chant. Because Gurudev said something about that, something in the previous class, you have to be fixed on the lotus feet of Gurudev when you're chanting this. So I was just remembering what Gurudev had said the day before. So this time, first day I was sitting right in front and I got the full blast. And I was thinking about Gurudev's eyes, like it was just drilling into me, you know. And then, so the second day the bench is like that, and I sat on the side a little bit. So Gurudev sat down, and like he normally does, just chanting. I'll tell one out of sequence a little bit, but I remember one day Gurudev was chanting like this. This was in Malaysia many years later. We were morning walk in Malaysia, and Gurudev was doing that chanting. So internally absorbed, tasting Nam. You can see, not you can see, but he's relishing something. And then in Malaysia, this time many years later, he opened his eyes and he looked at us and he said, you want me to speak something? And we were like, yes. And Gurudev said, do you know where I have to come from to speak to you in the morning? We were like, So Gurudeva was like this in Los Angeles, this first tour. He was looking, chanting, and he opened his eyes and he looked at me and he said, "So, you want to do bhajan?" And it's many years I have been listening to my Guru Maharaj. So when he taught us, when Harikatha's going, you have to make sure it comes in. You know, there's like nadis, there's ways into your heart. He said, don't let the Harikatha go in here and come out here. It must come in and down here. So I like do this. I kind of try and shut my senses and open my ears very big and close my eyes. So all the other senses are closed and the ears are prominent. So I close my eyes like this and I'm just ready to what he's going to say, try to take every vibration. And then I heard Gurudeva say, "What is your name?" And it's like, I'm waiting for somebody to speak. "What is your name?" And then Padmanabha Maharaj was sitting here. He went like that. Boom. And I was just talking about Gurudeva's eyes. I just remember opening my eyes like that. Gurudeva was sitting on the bench, leaning right. "Look, what is your name?" Just big blue eyes. "My name is Gokuldas. Who has given you this name?" So, Om Vishnupad Śrila Gurudeva Maharaj. He said, "He's given you Harinam, Diksha or Harinam?" Harinam, Harinam. And then Gurudeva couldn't understand him. They said, "Harinam." He said, "Oh." He said, "Then you will have to take Diksha." Urukram, what is the second verse of Manasiksha? And then again he's quoting. And then Gurudev spoke, maybe longer, 15-20 minutes, explaining all the necessities of that a Kanishta Adhikari, when he becomes very serious and wants to begin bhajan, proper bhajan, then he takes the words of his Guru very, very seriously. And he accepts mantra, and he chants mantra with great faith. All these instructions are given there. This is, so Gurudev, I've actually just been reading Manasiksha, so all the instructions are there, how to accept Guru, and accept with great faith. So, after maybe 15-20 minutes, Gurudev turned and he said, "So you should take Diksha immediately." And I was really, wow, everybody was looking at me. I was feeling, I was his then, you know. This is like real, how Gurudev was doing, taking and putting everybody in pockets. So we walked back to the temple, and Gurudev went into his room, and Raghav Pandit was pushing me, "Go, go, 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 go." I was like, "No, no, wait." He goes, no, my wife, Nagari, she's taking tomorrow. You go and ask him now." I was like, yes, I'm going. So I went into Gurudev's room. And Gurudev said, "Yes." I said, "You said that I should take Diksha immediately, so I want to be your disciple." And Gurudev, I said, "But I have one doubt." And Gurudev said, "What is that?" I said, "Well, my Guru Maharaj left me, and I'm thinking that maybe I did something wrong. I know I did something wrong, and therefore he's left me, and I don't want to be doing so much nonsense also, you know, with you. I don't want to be a burden on you." And Gurudev said, No. He said, "Your Guru Maharaj came to me and he said, I think I may leave soon. And he said, if I leave, then some of my disciples will come to you. So I have to give, he requested me, so I have to give you shelter. No question. He said, I will not accept your offenses." So, very fortunate Gurudev accepted me like that.
one year I was in Malaysia for Shivaratri, and we went to this big temple on top of a hill. It was a Shiva temple, and there was like thousands of people, but we had no books, and we maybe had a few, like 100 Way of Loves or something. There was thousands of people, and I was thinking, all these people need something about Lord Shiva. So then we came back to India, and we were in Mathura, and I told Gurudev, I said, Gurudev, I was in Malaysia, and there was all these people for Shivaratri, and if you think it's a good idea, can we put a book together of all your lectures on Lord Shiva? And that was the first time I got a pat on my head. He said, he patted me on the head, and he said, very good idea. So we took all his lectures, and we were working on this Shivaratri book, and the lectures that got sent out over Harikatha, we would do really fast, like, because we want people to get the latest. So once we started editing it more deeply, Shamrani saw that Gurudev combined 3 stories into one, which she calls it trance language, where he's saying it all and he's just speaking it, but there was like 3 pastimes that got merged, and she told him, and he said, oh, just break it up, follow the Bhagavatam. So then, we weren't going to be ready in time for Shivaratri, and we wrote to Gurudev, we were so nervous, he said print for Shivaratri, mistakes or no mistakes, it must be there. So we like stayed up all day and night, we had an amazing team, and we got it ready, and then his Vyasa Puja was in Hawaii, and we FedExed a couple copies, and then Shamrani and I went for that Vyasa Puja. And on Vyasa Puja day, like at almost 5 in the afternoon, Gurudev was coming out of his house to go to class, and FedEx just arrived. It was so amazing, and we opened it real quick, and then we gave Gurudev the book, and then he looked at the cover, and he said, oh, Shiva Tattva has come, and he put it on his head. That was really, really beautiful. And when we gave him Way of Love and Secret Juice, I was just telling someone this story yesterday, that when we gave him Way of Love and Secrets of the Undiscovered Self, it was the first beginner books that got published, I believe. Or there was some before that, I think this Rishikesh Maharaj had done. But anyways, we brought it to him, and he was in his house in Delhi, and it was like 7 in the morning, and he was still in bed, and he was like really, just like his feet were up, and he was really relaxed, and we gave him, and he was flipping through each page of the Way of Love. And that came from the Birmingham lecture, the interfaith message. And then we had subtitles, and he was reading them out loud. He said, we are one family. And then he read the next page, unity and diversity. And he looked at us, he said, I said this. That was really cute. And he was really happy with the books, and he said they should be given out. If someone can pay or not pay on those books. He said, at mass, give them out massively. So yeah, book darshans were always so exciting when the books would come out. When we did Gauravani Pracharne, he was actually sick. He didn't come to that Hawaii festival. And so afterwards we went and visited him where he was. And we gave him the book, and he looked through each page. He sat for so long. And then at the end there was a letter in the back. And he was so pleased. He looked at the letter, and he thanked Shamrani. He said, thank you for including this letter. It tells how Srila Prabhupada says we have a transcendental relationship from the beginning. So book darshans were so much fun. And then when we did Journey of the Soul, Gurudev ordered that book in like 2005. And in 2010 we still weren't done. And we were in Brazil, South Africa. And then Shamrani said, Gurudev, I just have one more question about the Jivatapa book. And he said, what? It's not, obviously Gurudev knows everything, but he said, it's not published? I thought it was published. And she said, no, we just have one more little thing we're not clear about. And he went, oh my God. Like that. So we were like, shouldn't even ask the question. We just immediately came back to India and printed. We were like, we got to print. Yeah.
Gurudev, he was kind and loving with everyone. Whatever touched me so much was how he was always dealing very perfectly with everyone. Therefore he was attracting so many came to him, and so many they stayed with him. Nowadays we see some they go to this, they are attracted there, but he was attracting everyone. Like one time we were on the airport, my wife, me and a few others, and everyone was crying because Gurudev was leaving. Then Gurudev, he was turning around and he said, you are all my sons and daughters. So very hard, and everyone started crying more. And even how he dealt with crazy people, this always impressed me so much. Normally crazy people you don't want to have around. You so scare them off or ignore them. And also crazy people normally cannot admit that they are crazy. That's their disease. When Gurudev, he was extremely expert. He told someone in its face, "You are a mad person." But they were smiling and said, "Yes, I'm Gurudev's Bagli." They loved him for that, but at the same time he dealt with them in a very expert way. So this touched me very much. Also, Gurudev always, he knew the heart of everyone, and in this way he drew everyone towards himself.
Yes, especially one time, one Janmashtami. One Janmashtami was there, I think maybe one or two Janmashtamis I spent with Gurudev in Mathura. And as always, actually wherever Gurudev would be around him, Braj just manifests, used to be manifested, you know. And I got very impressed by Thakurji's, Gauranga Radhanath Bihariji in Mathura, because Gurudev was sitting, and because Gurudev of Prema Bhakti of Gurudev, Thakurji is there because of his presence. Thakurji would like giving so much intense love, emanating from them. I went one time to temple room and like you standing like, oh, so much love. I like went out, then again back. Oh my God, how much love. And all the Brijabasis and Indian people also used to come to like honeybees around Thakurji's, around Gurudev. Thakurji's, Gurudev, everything was like filled up with nectar, Braj nectar. So much love and affection. Actually, you know, amazing. And you know, through Kirtan, this mood used to get manifest. Gurudev used to manifest this mood of Braj Kirtan. And of course, Gurudev is how he used to say, I'm first one mad here and I'm making all of you mad. So especially during these festivals, Gurudev used to shoot this moods of madness for Radha Krishna. And then you forget about your false ego, false shy, this and that, and you just dance like, you know, your Atma is like smiling, laughing, Atma. You're feeling you are not this body. You forget you forget about this body. You don't remember that. This means, you know, this means sadhu sangha, real sadhu sangha.